What up, everybody? We are doing a HaraPad under the Mac to see what the EMF radiation, got the tri-field here, what the EMF radiation is with HaraPad and without it for a simple Mac laptop. So real quick, let me turn this bad boy on. Hopefully I have some battery. And immediately we'll notice some spiking as soon as the laptop, and this is normal. So of course you'll use more EMF the more sound that's coming out of the machine. It's not necessarily about the Wi-Fi and how it's connected, whether it's Ethernet cable or what. In fact, let me go ahead and just connect with an Ethernet cable so we don't have any Wi-Fi biases. What? I don't know. I want biasism to be a word, but I don't think it is. Alright, real quick, I am going to connect this LAN cable. To this side. And you'll see it's not going to matter too much. Now on laptops, at least in my experience, it's always where you've got the the LAN connection and everything, where the majority of the ports, that's where your EMF radiation is coming from, because that's where you have the innards of the connectivity devices and the motherboard and stuff like that, to where you have RAM and stuff more down here. But just over the keyboard in general, see, look, we've got high, and this is with the HaraPad underneath, mind you. Okay, I've kept the HaraPad underneath the device, and we still have a consistent amount of EMF radiation, definitely in the red zone. Okay, and that's why they always recommend an external keyboard with laptops, because the whole time you're typing, you're getting danger zones amount of EMF radiation. Which is not good, and that is why we are supposed to be able to buy the HaraPad to limit this. But the HaraPad is definitely not showing me any really serious reductions in EMF radiation, and this is me doing absolutely nothing on the laptop. It's sitting here with no activity. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and just sit it down. I probably won't be able to type with it like that. Real quick, let me go ahead and at least type my password and get logged in this sucker. Take a look at the EMF radiation here. We are maxed smooth out on the lower right hand side of the laptop. Maxed out on EMF radiation. I mean, we are talking serious danger zone with a HaraPad perfectly positioned around this machine. I mean, it is perfect. It is totally covering this sucker. Let me make it even more perfect. Okay. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. It is totally underneath with a LAN cable connected. And we are maxed out on the EMF radiation in that position. So what is this really doing? So look, 100, and my laptop's turned on. I'm not even doing anything. Forget doing anything on this thing, because the more you do, of course it's going to spike, especially listening to videos and stuff, which we'll see in the iPad video. That sound just emits more radiation. And so in the right, remember this, because I'm about to take the HaraPad away, we have extensive amounts, especially in the lower right. We have in the middle, in the middle on the gauge, in milligauss we have in the middle, and then around the left hand side, around the Ethernet cable in the middle, we have a little more than normal, but still all in the danger zone here. This is all dangerous. Way too high. Way too high. Now, I mean, it's very high. So now what we'll do too is we'll do another thing where we take take it out from the bottom, and then we'll test the bottom of the laptop. So now the HaraPad is removed, and surprisingly we have less radiation in the bottom right hand. Now how is that possible? So with the HaraPad I now have less radiation, and I'll tell you why. Because more than likely the HaraPad is blocking the radiation from the bottom, but it's turning around and emitting it back through the top. So now the radiation is now able to go, and we're going to test it. So now we had an abundance amount of radiation coming through the top with the HaraPad underneath it. And why is that? Now we have lower without the HaraPad. Now I go in the middle, and it's around the same, but it's a little less in some spikes. To where, if you remember, it was more. I go over here, and it's sort of the same issue. Around the middle, but it is spiking a little high. And that's excessively high. I don't know if I went that high last time. I was more around the middle, which you're going to see, you know, a little lower. Around the middle, middle, and that's, you know, but lower over here. Lower, lower, lower. So why is it lower? Just, I mean, even if it's a little bit, why is it lower without the HaraPad? And I'll tell you why. Because that EMF radiation has to be potentially being blocked on your knees, but it's coming up to your hands, above you. Especially if your head is hovering over a laptop like this, you are definitely in more danger. So let's just test the bottom of this laptop. Let me do it without damaging this thing. Okay. So bottom of the laptop, we've got, let's say, so we're maxed out. I'd say we're about 50 to 70. 50 to 70. Get in the middle. And it drops. So higher to lower. Down to 3. Higher to a little lower. And it was kind of the same way, you know, the other way around. We always had some high EMF radiation, but for some reason right here on the other side, the lower right hand side, we were maxed out. But now without the HaraPad, but now without the HaraPad, we're around the same. We're in the middle. So keep these numbers in mind. So boom, boom. Here we start spiking. Over here, we're in the middle, and then we drop a little bit. So if we have 3 layers, we have low to high, then kind of high to low when you get at the top, right? So grab this HaraPad, put it directly under the machine as so. Remember, it was high to low. So we have, if I'm moving this, that's exactly what's happening. So we have a kind of a steady state. So the EMF is being blocked at the bottom. So it's blocking your lap. But at what price? So we're steady state here, and I'm moving all around. The HaraPad is blocking EMF radiation from your lap. Now the iPad, it's not doing much of anything. but the laptop, we have a blockage at the bottom, but at what price? We've got the EMF turning around and coming up even harder through here. So what would be good is to have HaraPad do something to the effect where it hopefully would maybe develop something as maybe a keyboard protector, something to maybe where the EMF radiation could come out through the sides. So again, let's test this. Of course, in the bottom right it was high. It was, you know, getting high. Of course, it was lower. We have it going, it's around 30 top left, around 30 where it spikes bottom right. I would say those are the hot spots. If I remove the HaraPad, I would get, I just took it off, I'm going to get less radiation. See that? Only staying in the middle now. And same thing, top left now. It's only staying in the middle. So it's pretty clear what's going on. HaraPad will block it, block the EMF underneath, but those frequencies are coming back up even harder. So as a design suggestion, HaraPad, I would suggest that we do something where we protect our keyboard next. And maybe some sort of a keyboard screen or protector to where these EMF frequencies can flow out to the sides. Bottom line, got to get them out of here. Because people's hands, remember, energy flows through the hands in the human body. Protect the hands and definitely the head, because people's heads are extremely close to these keyboards. Especially when they can't read. They get close, especially if you use night vision like me. Protect your eyes from the screen. A lot of times, out of habit, we'll lean in to read, right? But very interesting stuff. So I hope this helped. I'll be uploading this as a review.